Hi everyone, my name is Madison Simpson. I will be competing at Develop at Ubisoft 2024, which is a competition for females or people representing as female to compete for an internship at Ubisoft. I will be competing in the C++ division, and currently we are 66 days to go. In my last video, I kind of outlined what I want to do for my initial steps, which include getting a certificate in C++, making a plan in Trello, and then also working on my video editing skills. So first off, the C++ certificate. I ended up doing this extremely fast, taking only like 2 or 3 days, because most of this was a refresher as I've learned a lot of this in school. Even though this course is really easy to do, I'm happy that I ended up doing it because it gives me a little bit of a self-confidence boost, knowing that I can do this competition with the language that they need me to do it in. I then divided all of my tasks that I wanted to complete into a Trello file. In order to approach the development process strategically, I've categorized the game systems into 2 groups: core systems and optional systems. Core system involves things like 2D rendering, particle effects, audio, or scene management. The items I've listed into these categories are the backbone to any game, and in my opinion are indispensable. That's not to say that any of these systems, one can be missing and the game would be ruined. For example, the Vale by Flying Squirrel is a great example of a video game that doesn't use visuals at all. The main character is blind, and as the player, you also are blind with her. However, this deliberate loss of a main component of the game is built into the game design. So like I said, it's not impossible to have one of these missing, but it's definitely important to realize that you need one to make a full game or design around it. On the other hand, I've also identified some secondary or optional systems. These are shaders, advanced AI, or 3D rendering. While these elements add depth to my project, there are also areas I can scale back if needed. It's all about finding the right balance when it comes to game development and project management. The last thing on my list to talk about is my certificate in video editing. This course in Udemy that I took was really great for beginners. I knew a little bit before. This was a really easy way to learn some of the advanced techniques, how to do things quicker, how to actually use the program to its full potential. And I still know that there's so much to learn, but for a beginner's course for 11 hours, this is a lot of content, and I'm just really happy to push some of the things that I've learned. Now, as we approach the release of the API on November 23rd, there's a lot of time between right now and then where I can't really study anything more, but then that leaves the question of what should I do in the meantime? I have a couple ideas in mind, but one of them is to make a really simple trivia game about Bitwise operators. This way I can work with my C ins, my C outs, kind of work with just C++ in general. And beyond that, I also want to create a save system. This would use input and output files to create something that can save to my local desk. And I think this is probably the first main system that I can create here that I can transfer onto a different project in the future. Beyond that is the perfect time to collect any resources I think will be important for creating either my test project or my final project for this competition. This includes collecting resources like audios, fonts, and sprites. Currently, I'm really inspired by Mario and Rabbids' Sprites of Hope. Seeing that I have to take so much time to study, I can't play the game, but I thought I could pull it into this project really nicely. In some levels, there are Goombas with pots on their head that you have to sprint into and throw off the map to defeat. So when the API gets released, the game that I want to create will be called Beepo Helps Out, where it is a 2D platformer where Beepo has to travel to wherever the cursor is of the player's mouse and bump into Goombas with pots on their head to push them off the screen. However, there will be environment hazards, so with this, there will be a lot of input, AI, and then also contact collision. I also might show a little bit about creating art for this game. Warning, I am not an artist. I don't claim to be an artist. I am a programmer 100% of the time. Additionally, on top of those 2 things I want to be showcasing in the next video, I also want to be talking about the first networking conference for Develop at Ubisoft, which will be held on November 9th. I have no idea who will be there. I'm really just going to be there to listen, learn, make sure I'm doing everything proper, if I'm even allowed to use outside sprites for this event. I am super grateful that there are people at Ubisoft who want to mentor people like me. I'm incredibly lucky to have this opportunity, and I never want to not be grateful for what I've been provided. If you stayed to the video till the end, thank you so much. I appreciate you all, and I hope you all have a lovely night.